Hi, Jacob, Unisport Web TV. Now, one of the most important decisions to make when buying new football boots is which sole plate to choose. Should you go with the FG, the SG or the AG sole plate? Now, to address that question, we're going to take a look at the 3 different sole plates on the new Nike Hi-Vis collection. And I'm going to start off by looking at the AG sole plate. Now, AG stands for artificial ground, but what does it actually do, this squid tentacle-like sole plate? Well, let's take a look. Now, there are a lot of different generations of artificial grass, but the newer ones, like the one I'm sitting on here, is basically a carpet made with plastic grass straws with a filling of these little black rubber grains. And all of this sits on top of a concrete base, which means that the newer artificial grass pitches are always even and never gets muddy. And to be fair to a lot of people, the artificial grass has become a lot similar to playing on natural grass, even though it's actually not. And due to these growing similarities, or the fact that some players only own one pair of boots, we actually still see a lot of players playing on artificial grass with FG sole plates, although it's not something we would recommend. Instead, it's a lot better to actually use the AG sole plates, which are made for this kind of surfaces. Now, the reason that FG boots aren't that suited for artificial grass is because the studs really don't penetrate the ground that well. And in other words, you're basically just running on top of the surface, which increases the risk of you rolling over on your ankle or simply just slipping. But the other problem is that because there are so few of the FG studs, the pressure on each stud is increased, which is not very good for your joints or your knees. Now, Nike wanted to avoid that, so they introduced the AG sole plates, which have, here we go, a lot more studs that are shorter but also hollow, as you can see, which ensures that you get a better grip, much more traction, and you get a lot more comfort, simply because you penetrate the ground a lot better. Now, I'm pretty sure it doesn't take a rocket science degree to see there are some minor differences to these 4 AG plates I've got in front of me. And even though these 3 plates are pretty damn good, Nike decided that they could actually push the AG technology even further. So they developed this, the plate on the new Hypervenom Phantom. And the difference from the older plates is that there are more support studs on this one, as well as some toe-off acceleration studs on the front of the boot. And it is a pretty nice AG pattern. It's a little more comfortable, and one can only hope that Nike will introduce this AG sole plate to all of their boots in the future. Another thing worth mentioning is durability, which can be a recurring problem to a lot of people playing with FG boots on artificial grass. And it is mainly due to the fact that AG is a lot more abrasive to the boots than natural grass is. Because when you step down on AG, you really don't break up the material like you do on natural grass. Instead, you just really squeeze the material tightly together to make it a lot harder, and that increases the friction and abrasion on the boots. Now, FG boots aren't made to last and resist this increased friction and abrasion, so they tend to break. And thus, the warranty is actually lost when you play with FG boots on AG, which is a shame. But luckily, AG sole plates are made to resist this increased abrasion, so you actually keep your warranty as well as having boots that last longer, which is always good. So, to sum it all up, if you ever play on artificial grass, I really think it's a good idea to get yourself a pair of AGs. And even though it means getting an additional pair of boots, I think there are a lot of benefits to AGs compared to playing with FG boots. Naturally, you can still use your FG boots on artificial grass, but it's not something I would recommend, especially because it really sucks if they break and you cannot get them replaced. Also, I've really come to enjoy the AG plates, and I actually always have a pair of AGs in my bag to go along with my firm ground boots, just in case. But what do you think about the AG plates? And do you actually play with AG boots on artificial grass? Well, please leave a comment in the box down below. And it's also there if you have any questions. We'll be there in a jiffy. Now, this was all for me yapping about the AG plates. But remember, there are the FG and the SG videos up there, and then I'll see you later on in Unisport Web TV. Cheerio.